September 12, 2003. Johnny Cash dies at age 71, 4 months after June Carter Cash's death. The funeral is packed. Thousands mourn the man in black. But in the front row, a 33-year-old man sits quietly. His name is John Carter Cash, Johnny and June's only child together. He just inherited everything. The music catalog, the estate in Tennessee, the rights to his father's name and image. Estimated value, $100 million. At 33 years old, John Carter Cash became one of the wealthiest heirs in country music history. But he inherited something else too. Something his father fought for 40 years. Something Johnny thought he'd defeated. The addiction, pills, opioids, the same demons that nearly killed his father. And for 7 years, 2004 to 2011, John Carter Cash battled his father's curse in secret, managing a $100 million estate while high. This is the story of the inheritance nobody talks about. The money, the addiction, and the cycle Johnny Cash couldn't break, even from the grave. Before we understand the addiction, we need to understand the man, John Carter Cash. Born March 3, 1970. Parents, Johnny Cash plus June Carter Cash. The golden child. Why golden? Because he was planned. Unlike Johnny's first 4 daughters, with Vivian, Roseanne, born 1955, Kathy, born 1956, Cindy, born 1958. Tara, born 1961. John Carter was born after Johnny got clean, 1968, born into Johnny's redemption era, born into the successful marriage, Johnny plus June. The son Johnny always wanted, his childhood, 1970 to 1988. Grew up on Johnny's estate, Hendersonville, Tennessee. Advantages, wealth. Famous parents, music legends as uncles, Waylon, Willie, Chris. Private schools, every opportunity, but also watched his father's relapses, 1970s to 1980s. Watched the fights between Johnny and June. Knew he was the favorite, while 4 half-sisters struggled. His career path, never wanted to be a performer like his father, wanted to be a producer, behind the scenes, carrying on the legacy without the spotlight. Smart choice. Education. Studied music production, worked with his father's producer, Rick Rubin, learned the business. By 2003, age 33. John Carter was a respected producer, married to Mary June Carter, not related to his mother, just same last name. Father of 1 son, living a normal life. Then both parents died in 4 months, and everything changed. September to December 2003, Johnny's will is read. The division, John Carter, Cash receives majority share of estate, $60 to $100 million estimated. Control of Johnny Cash's music catalog, control of Johnny Cash's image rights. The Hendersonville estate, main house, rights to unreleased recordings. Decision-making power overall. Johnny Cash legacy issues, Roseanne, Kathy, Cindy, Tara, the 4 daughters, receive $1 million each, total $4 million for all 4. No control over estate. No say in their father's legacy. The math. John Carter, $100 million plus 4 daughters combined, $4 million. That's 25 to 1 ratio. Why such inequality? Legally, John Carter equals biological son of Johnny's last wife, June. June's will also left everything to John Carter. Two estates merged equals massive inheritance emotionally. The daughter's perspective. Roseanne Cash, interview 2004. My father abandoned us when we were children. Then, when he died, he gave everything to the son he had with his second wife. It felt like being erased twice. But there was a bigger problem. A problem nobody knew about yet. John Carter Cash was starting to self-destruct. 2004. John Carter is now in charge. The weight on his shoulders. 1. The legacy. Every decision about Johnny Cash's image equals John Carter's call. Which recordings to release? Which brands can use Johnny's image? Which movies can tell Johnny's story? The weight of history. 2. The money. Managing 100 million plus estate. Royalties coming in constantly. Investment decisions. One bad decision equals family fortune lost. 3. The family expectations. 4 half-sisters watching every move, judging every decision. Is he worthy of this? Or just lucky he was born last? 4. The comparison. Everyone comparing him to his father. Can he honor Johnny's legacy? Does he have his father's integrity? Is he as talented? The pressure is crushing. John Carter's coping mechanism. Pills, not recreational, prescription. At first. How it started, John Carter's later account. 2004. Doctor prescribes pain medication, back injury. Legitimate medical need, takes as prescribed. But then, the pills do something else. They quiet the pressure. They silence the comparisons. They make the weight feel lighter. So John Carter keeps taking them, even after the back heals. 2005. Doctor says, "You don't need these anymore." John Carter. "Actually, my back still hurts." Lie number 1. Doctor prescribes another month. Then John Carter finds another doctor and another doctor shopping. By 2006, John Carter is taking pills daily, not for pain, for escape. The irony wasn't lost on him. John Carter, later interview, "I knew what I was doing. I'd watched my father do the exact same thing for decades. But I told myself, I'm different. I can control this. I'm not him." Classic addict logic. And John Carter Cash, managing a $100 million estate, was an addict. For 5 years, John Carter hid his addiction. From everyone. How? He was functional. Unlike his father, who was erratic, violent, obviously high, John Carter controlled it. Showed up to meetings, high but functional, made business decisions while on pills, produced albums under the influence, maintained family life, wife and son didn't know. Functional addiction equals hardest to spot. He had money, unlimited access to private doctors, no questions asked, prescription refills, pay cash, no insurance trail, high-quality pharmaceuticals, not street drugs. When you're managing $100 million, nobody questions your back pain. He had control of the narrative. As executor of Johnny's estate, John Carter controlled all media about the family. Any journalist asking uncomfortable questions? Denied access to the estate. Any family member, half-sisters, suspicious? You're just jealous. I inherited more. The perfect cover. What John Carter was taking, estimated. Oxycodone, pain pills. Hydrocodone of Vicodin. Xanax, anxiety. Ambien, sleep. Polydrug addiction, just like his father. Here's the uncomfortable question. From 2004 to 2011, John Carter Cash made every major decision about Johnny Cash's legacy while addicted to pills. What decisions? 2006. Walk the Line movie oversight. Joaquin Phoenix as Johnny. Reese Witherspoon as June. Big moment for the legacy. John Carter was involved in production decisions. Script approval, music licensing. Family portrayal, was he high during these meetings? We don't know. But he was using during this period. 2007, American 5. 2008 to 2010, constant licensing deals. Johnny's image on T-shirts, commercials, video games, products, John Carter approving all of it. While high, the ethical question, were these decisions in Johnny's best interest or in an addict's need for money to maintain lifestyle habit? We'll never know. Because John Carter never disclosed his addiction until after recovery. For 6 years, John Carter's family has no idea. His wife, Mary, doesn't know. His son doesn't know. His half-sisters, Roseanne, Kathy, Cindy, Tara, don't know. Why didn't they notice the distance? After Johnny and June died, the family fractured. John Carter versus the 4 daughters equals separate camps. The resentment over inheritance created a wall. They rarely spoke, so nobody noticed the signs. But one person was paying attention. Roseanne Cash, 2009. Roseanne Cash notices something. What tipped her off? Phone call with John Carter about estate business. Roseanne. We need to discuss Dad's unreleased recordings. John Carter. Yeah, sure. Roseanne. Are you listening? John Carter. Of course. What? His speech was slurred. Not drunk, something else. Roseanne knew that sound. She'd heard it before. From her father, for 40 years. The realization, oh my God, he's using. But Roseanne didn't want to believe it. Second call, 2010. Same slurred speech, same distraction, same signs. Roseanne to her sisters. Something's wrong with John Carter. Sisters. He's just busy managing the estate. Roseanne. No, it's more than that. Roseanne decided to investigate. 2010. Roseanne Cash confronts John Carter. How it happened. Roseanne flies to Nashville, shows up at John Carter's office, unannounced. The conversation. Roseanne. We need to talk. John Carter. About what? Roseanne. About the pills. John Carter's face goes white. John Carter. I don't know what you're talking about. Roseanne. Yes, you do. I know the signs. I lived with Dad for years. You're using. John Carter. I have a prescription. Roseanne. So did Dad. That's how it starts. Silence. John Carter breaks down, admits everything. John Carter tells Roseanne everything. The timeline. Started 2004, right after parents died. Pain pills at first, then more, then couldn't stop. The guilt, John Carter. I inherited Dad's money, I inherited his catalog, I inherited his legacy, and I inherited his demons. I told myself I was different, but I'm not. I'm exactly like him. Roseanne's response, not anger, sadness. Roseanne. Our father fought this for 40 years. He died thinking he'd broken the cycle. And you? You proved it wasn't broken. The cycle. Johnny Cash, pills, 1957 to 1968, relapses, 1970s to 1990s. John Carter, Cash, pills, 2004 to 2010. Generational curse, October 2010. Roseanne organizes family intervention. Present. Roseanne Cash, Kathy Cash, Cindy Cash, Tara Cash, John Carter's wife, Mary, John Carter's son, John. John Carter walks into room, sees everyone, knows what this is. The intervention, Roseanne speaking for everyone. John Carter, we love you, but you're killing yourself. Just like Dad almost did. You're managing a $100 million estate while high. That's insane. You need help, and we're not leaving until you agree to get it. John Carter's response: I can handle it. Roseanne, that's what Dad said. For 40 years. Mary, wife, I didn't know. But now I do. And I'm telling you, rehab or divorce. That got through. John Carter agreed. January 2011. John Carter enters luxury rehab facility. Location, undisclosed. California likely. Duration, 90 days. Cost, $100,000 plus. Paid for by the estate. The irony, Johnny Cash's money, the money he earned while addicted, was now paying for his son's rehab, the cycle funding itself. What happened in rehab? Week 1, detox, physical withdrawal, pain, sweating, shaking, just like his father went through. Week 2 to 4, therapy. Psychologist, why do you think you started using? John Carter, the pressure, the inheritance, the comparisons. Psychologist, do you think your father felt the same pressures? John Carter, of course. Psychologist, and he used pills to cope, just like you. The realization, John Carter wasn't weak. He was repeating a learned coping mechanism. His father taught him, unintentionally, that pills solve pressure. Week 5 to 8. Group therapy, hearing other addicts' stories. The common thread, I thought I was different. I thought I could control it. I thought I wasn't like my parent. John Carter wasn't alone. Week 9 to 12. Relapse prevention, learning new coping mechanisms, not pills. Actually dealing with pressure. April 2011. John Carter completes rehab, sober. The first year, 2011 to 2012, hard, daily meetings, AANA, sponsor on speed dial, temptation constantly, especially when managing estate, stressful decisions. But John Carter stays clean. Why? Because he saw what addiction did to his father, and he didn't want to die the same way. The public disclosure. 2012, John Carter publicly discusses his addiction. Interview with Rolling Stone. I was addicted to prescription pills for 7 years. I hid it from everyone. I'm in recovery now, and I'll be in recovery for the rest of my life. The reaction? Country music community, supportive family, relieved he's public, accountability. Fans, shocked but understanding, critics. He was managing Johnny's legacy while high. The present, 2024. John Carter Cash, 13 plus years sober. Still manages Johnny Cash's estate, still produces music. But now openly discusses his addiction, his recovery, generational trauma, a cautionary tale. The uncomfortable question lingers. From 2004 to 2011, John Carter made hundreds of decisions about Johnny Cash's legacy while addicted. Which decisions were sound? Which were influenced by addiction? We'll never know. Examples: over-commercialization. Some critics say Johnny's image became too commercial in the 2000s to the 2010s. T-shirts everywhere, commercials, video games. Was this honoring Johnny? Or an addict needing money? Questionable licensing deals? Johnny's music in ads for products he never would have endorsed. Did John Carter make these deals while high? Delayed releases? Unreleased recordings that should have been released earlier. Was John Carter too impaired to work on them? The defense. John Carter, post-recovery. I made every decision with my father's legacy in mind. Was I impaired? Yes. But I never forgot what mattered. I honored him even when I wasn't honoring myself. The counter-argument. Roseanne Cash. You can't manage a $100 million estate while addicted and claim you were thinking clearly. That's addict logic. Both might be right. Let's revisit the inheritance disparity. John Carter, $100 million plus, 4 daughters combined, $4 million. After John Carter's addiction revealed, the daughter's reaction, Kathy Cash. He inherited everything, and he used it to buy pills, while we got $1 million each. Is that fair? Cindy Cash. Our father gave him all the money, all the power, and he squandered it on an addiction. That money should have been distributed more fairly. Roseanne Cash, more measured. I'm not angry about the money. I'm angry about the pattern. Dad was an addict. John Carter became an addict. And the money enabled both addictions. Tara Cash. At least Dad earned his money. John Carter just inherited it and used it to destroy himself. The family divide deepened. John Carter's response. I understand their anger, but the will was the will. I didn't choose to get more. Dad decided that. Blame him, not me. The truth, both sides have valid points. Let's look at the pattern. Generation 1. Johnny Cash, 1932 to 2003. Addicted to amphetamines, 1957 to 1968. Multiple relapses, 1970s to 1990s. Died sober, but barely. Fought addiction 40-plus years, Generation 2. John Carter Cash, 1970 to present. Addicted to prescription opioids, 2004 to 2011. Recovered, 2011. 7 years of active addiction, Generation 3. John Carter's son, born 1990s. Has he struggled with addiction? Not publicly disclosed. But the question haunts John Carter. Will my son inherit the curse too? The research on generational addiction, genetic predisposition, 40 to 60% of addiction risk is genetic. Environmental factors, growing up around addiction normalizes it. Learned coping mechanisms. Children of addicts learn to cope with stress the same way their parents did. John Carter's son watched his father recover. That might break the cycle, or it might not. Time will tell. Despite everything, John Carter Cash did things right. 1. He got help. Many addicts never do. John Carter entered rehab when confronted. That took courage. 2. He stayed sober. 13-plus years, 2011 to 2024. Sobriety is daily work. 3. He went public. Many celebrities hide their addiction forever. John Carter disclosed it. Why? If my father's story helps one person, his suffering wasn't wasted. If my story helps one person, mine wasn't either. 4. He advocates for addiction awareness. John Carter now speaks at recovery centers, music industry events, addiction conferences, using his platform for good. 5. He honors his father's legacy, sober. Post-2011 releases, Out Among the Stars, 2014. Posthumous Johnny album, Forever Words, 2018. Johnny's poems set to music museum exhibits, documentaries, all managed sober. The difference is visible, more thoughtful, more respectful, more authentic, what John Carter Cash inherited. Checkmark $100 million. Checkmark music catalog. Checkmark rights to father's image. Checkmark estate control. But also, checkmark addiction genetics. Checkmark learned coping mechanisms. Checkmark pressure to live up to legend. Checkmark family dysfunction. The money was the easy part. The demons were the inheritance that mattered. John Carter's reflection, 2020 interview. People think inheriting $100 million is a blessing, and it is. But it's also a curse, because now I have to prove I'm worthy of it. And the pressure to prove that's what almost killed me. My father fought addiction for 40 years. I fought it for 7. We both almost died from it. The difference? He earned his money through his talent. I inherited mine through luck. But we both inherited the addiction. That's the real family legacy. The question for all of us, what do we inherit from our parents? Money? Trauma? Addiction? All of the above? And how do we break the cycles that need to be broken? John Carter. Cash's answer, you acknowledge it. You get help. You do the work. And you don't let your past define your future. September 12th, 2003. Johnny Cash dies. John Carter Cash inherits $100 million. And his father's addiction, for 7 years, he fights it in secret. 2011, he gets sober. 2024, still sober. The curse isn't broken, but it's managed. And maybe that's the best any of us can do. Johnny Cash spent 40 years fighting his demons. John Carter Cash spent 7. The money? It's still there. The catalog? Still earning. But the real inheritance? The addiction? That's the one that almost killed him. Just like it almost killed his father. Generational trauma isn't just a phrase, it's a curse. Passed down. $100 million in all. If this hidden truth shocked you, there are many more secrets waiting to be uncovered. Subscribe to Johnny Cash, The Hidden Truth, and hit the bell icon so you never miss the next revelation. Like this video if the Man in Black's story moved you. And remember, the truth can't stay buried forever. See you in the next episode.